Today, I was able to make $45,000, equivalent to over 200% trading options in the stock market. And in this video, I'm gonna show you my entry, my exits, and I'm gonna break down the entire trade. And hopefully by the end of this video, you'll be able to do the exact same thing. Now, before we hop into anything, I wanna show you guys my broker statement. This is just proving that this was a real, legitimate trade, not a paper trade. And something that you wanna understand too is that I don't trade futures or Forex, I trade options. So I'm trading on Charles Schwab's Thinkorswim platform. This is a regulated US broker. Now, I've pulled up the Daily Traders account. You can see obviously this is a live page. And if I sort for the PLTR position, the exact contracts I bought, you can see how it just loaded them, it pulled them up, and you can see here my realized gain and loss details. So 3 separate orders. My first order you can see was 30,000, second was 7, and third was 7. But overall, you can see the total gain was 45,337.07. The cost basis behind this trade, so my actual position size was $22,421.15. And I wanted to show you here, I sold off half of my position for a 275% gain. So I locked in just about $31,000 profit for 275%. And then I did get out of the remaining for 132, and then the last of that position for just about 130. This trade came through on my software. That is where I'm deciding and figuring out what I'm going to trade, obviously the direction of that trade. So at 9:30, you could see just literally right off the open, 9:30, my software sent me these PLTR calls. These were the 228 expiration with the 81 strike, and PLTR was trading at 80.43 when this order came through. Now, every morning I'm trading live inside my mentorship, which means I'm sharing my face and my video on my screen, and I'm entering these trades in front of hundreds of my students. And then I'm actually sending out that call out as well, typing it out and posting it. So I want to replay the actual live trade when I entered off of the open, and you'll be able to see me enter this trade. It was a little chaotic, I'm not gonna lie. I was about a minute late to actually hop on the stream, and this trade came through right off the open. All right, we just got a day trade, holy shit. All right, PLTR calls. Good morning, good morning. Right off the open here, I'm gonna be getting in these PLTR 228 $81 calls. Okay, we've got my order here. I just got filled. Currently up 14,000 in like 2 minutes. Oh my God. Okay, up 20,000, up 24,000, up $29,000. Yeah, so I mean, if the market did move up to TP right now, I'd make 141 grand, like right now. Now, because these are 0 DTE, as theta kicks in throughout the day, it wouldn't look like that at the end of today. Up $30,000, 129%. I don't think I've ever seen like a 1 minute candle. Well, I guess that much volatility behind a contract on a 1 minute candle. 100, so it'd be about 50% just based off of this 1 minute candle moving, which is absolutely insane. So we've got about 16,000 in volume behind these contracts, 273,000 in open interest. This is a roller coaster. I was up almost 40 grand, now I'm only up 13. Imagine we go up 180% and then now we're back up to only 40%. That's some serious trust the process. I'm just curious, are you guys in this trade because of the volatility and because of how much these contracts are fluctuating? Do you notice that you're more either nervous, or does this trade scenario feel different than others because of the volatility and how much these contracts are moving? You prefer the volatility? Fair. Fair, okay. Yeah, now, so we're back up 134%. I mean, that's a lot of fluctuation. That's a lot of volatility. Yeah, a little stressed, a little nervous. I mean, this is not how a typical contract that we trade is gonna move. These are outside of the norm, I would say. Now, I did hop off the stream at about 10 o'clock, obviously, as I was waiting for my stop loss or take profit to be hit. Just a phenomenal trade, I can't complain. But you can see here how when I got in, my initial stop was at 77.08, my take profit was at 87.13. And this is inside the trading call out section with inside my mentorship group, which I will put a link in the description below if you do want to join. I posted this call out. There's a screenshot of the chart right there with my take profit, with my stop loss, obviously saying that I did just get filled on these PLTR calls at 83 a contract with my stop and my take profit. Now, you obviously saw that I did get out of this order in 3 parts. So I scaled out of this position. This never happens. And for whatever reason, going into today's trading session, I didn't follow my plan, and I honestly should have made more than I really did. We never did hit our take profit, but we also would have, at the end of the day, closed at the highest point during the day that PLTR was trading at. And I sold right back in here, got out with about half, and then I slowly started selling. I sold off about half here, another half here, and another half here. You can see here, I was up about 45 grand and then pulled back to only being up about 9,000. I was up almost 40 grand, now I'm only up 13. Now, this for me was a huge emotional roller coaster. Honestly, just was not ready for the amount of volatility behind these contracts. My average winner is only typically about 50%, 47 to be exact. My average loser is about 35, 36%. So to have seen these contracts move over 100% within 10 minutes, and then literally every wick you could see on this replay, every single minute candle, I was moving sometimes upwards of $5,000 to $10,000. Seeing that fluctuation in volatility is something that I'm working my way up to becoming comfortable with, trading with this amount of size going into the year. Now, I typically like building up a cushion for myself during the year. And at the highest point during this trade, if I had stayed and held through the end of the day and closed this trade right before the close, I would have made about 80 grand. If I go to the running P&L here, you could see that I was up at one point just about $68,000. Okay. And honestly, at this point, I kind of started to panic, and I saw that PLTR was starting to reverse, right? It looked like the market was starting to die out as well, being up so much, knowing that, you know, I am green on the year, but not by a whole lot. I really mentally just let my emotions take over. I didn't follow my plan, and instead of holding, I sold off the, rest of my position by 11.20. The things to be learned here, I think for me, one is that the volatility again behind 0 DTE contracts. This was Friday. These contracts expired at the end of the day. I did not expect such a large range and so much volatility, where I was seeing swings of 10, 50, and 1,000 within 5 to 10 minutes, being up about 50,000, drawing back down to only being up about 9,000. I emotionally was not ready to handle or deal with that. So I panic sold, because by default, if I don't hit my take profit or stop loss at 355, I will close out my trade. Okay, that is a rule that I've set for myself. And you can see here at 355, right here was when I would have supposed to close out that trade, which off of that high was slightly more. That was just by barely the highest point of the entire day. And I was able to figure out that I would have been up just about $80,000. So I should have made 80K versus 45K. And so as traders, we're constantly going to have to deal with stuff like this. Even though I have a very super systematic, I would say emotionless system, up to the point where I still have to follow the system. Now, I know I'm talking a lot about what I did wrong, but let's talk about what I did right. So first things first, obviously, there were hundreds of students that were able to lock in just phenomenal returns. JD here, you could see locked in $4,800 profit on the day, just about 5K. Lewis locked in $10,700 profit. You could see that was a 235% gain. So I can't complain, because I did make money. This was a phenomenal trade. A $45,000 day for some people is hard to comprehend, but as a trader, I have to be honest with myself, and I have to realize I did not follow my plan, and I was fearful to give back the gains that I was up. The biggest thing I can attribute to that is that I have not yet become comfortable with the volatility behind 0 DTE at the size I'm trading, and being up upwards of 300% on this one position. However, I'm so excited to have closed the month in the green. Amazing, amazing, amazing February, and I cannot wait for this year. I want to give you guys a quarterly update and show you where I'm at the end of March, and continue being transparent, showing you my brokerage statements. So hopefully I will see you over inside the mentorship. Subscribe for more, and I'll see you in the next one.